People have always wondered why Eustace Kid has red hair, and I'm going to end all of the theories right now. That's right, I know why his hair is red. It's because his hair is actually a subscribe button. So every time he ruffles through his crimson locks, he gets all the latest anime analyzed content. And you too can get the latest anime analyzed content by pushing that simple rectangular button down there. Hello friends, Anime Analyzed here, and today we're going to be looking at chapter 1030. As a customary spoiler warning, if you have not watched this chapter yet, watch this chapter. If you have not read this chapter yet, then I would recommend that you go to another video. But if you have read this chapter, we have a lot to talk about. So let's get started. The 20-second recap is Punk Hazard. I'm kidding. The flock of vultures on this island is growing. Apu is trying to woo Drake into joining his team to defeat whoever wins this battle, just like CP0 is. Kinemon is running around topless again. Smiley has reincarnated into Kazenbo, and Kid and Law both just kinda woke up. They're devil fruits. Chapter 1030 has got me feeling all sorts of emotions, one of them being a sense of extreme nostalgia, because a lot of things this chapter harken back to the days of Punk Hazard. Firstly, we have the bottom half of Kinemon running around, then we have a dying antagonist who is manipulated by another antagonist. Of course, I'm referring to Kanjuro and Monet being manipulated by Orochi and Caesar respectively. Then we have a smiley-like thing killing people, and we have a wild Law taking center stage against a main villain, which, come to think about it, hasn't happened since he fought Virgo. But before we get to Law, let's start with his worst generation companion, Apu. We really got some nice character development for Apu. Last chapter, we saw Hawkins, who was trapped by his unwavering belief in his tarot cards, and we see the exact opposite with Apu, where frankly, I don't think he actually believes in himself at all. On the other hand, Drake shows up like 30 chapters after the last time we saw him, says the two sentences that we fully expected him to say, and then we don't see him again. But there is one very interesting thing that my friend showed me earlier today in this scene. I was too busy not looking at the numbers, but he pointed out that the three numbers look staggeringly like the three samurai in the dungeon flashback with Yamato. Very intriguing. Okay, next we are blessed with the appearance of our favorite pervy and very alive samurai, Kinemon. The explanation for this came as quite a shock to me. I mean, Oda is trying to explain away how Kinemon survived Kaido's stab by invoking the quote-unquote lingering effects of Law's cut? But that's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even complaining that Kinemon survived. I'm so used to fake out death scenes that I couldn't possibly imagine either him or Kiku being dead. It's more the way he survived that just seemed kinda lazy. But anyways, that means there is still a possibility that the vassals can unite and carry out the whole Nine Shadows prophecy, and honestly, I would like that a lot. Ever since they were first introduced, for the sake of the story, I really wanted them to be the ones to take down Kaido and carry out Odin's will. But the saving grace of this scene was definitely Hamlet. Now I just need to see Fortrix show up again, and I'll sign this off as the greatest arc Oda has ever written. But speaking of dying vassals, we also see Kanjuro being manipulated by Orochi to create Kazenbo to destroy the island. And this might be the first time I actually felt some sort of pity for Kanjuro. I mean, he is a horrible, horrible human being, but Oda is really making Orochi out to be just this absolute devilish existence with no retribution. I know some of you are going to say, hey look, Orochi had it hard as a kid and all, but Oda has definitely written these sort of backstories better. I mean, look at how he handled Doflamingo's backstory. It was essentially the same thing, a kid being ostracized for his family name. But Orochi's story just didn't hit that hard for me at all. But knowing Oda, I feel like he's holding some facts back from us. I mean, I just cannot imagine such a pivotal antagonist being so sidelined and frankly badly explained. And just seeing him sitting there and picking his nose, I mean, if Oda's main goal was to make me feel nothing but pure resentment for this man, then he has succeeded. And also, the stakes were already really high, considering the fact that this island is about to fall on the flower capital. And things are getting ever so much worse now. Kazenbo is going to create an explosion with the weapons stored away on this island, and perhaps this is Oda trying to give non-Dragonian people some role in the success of this raid. But we'll just have to wait and see. Speaking of success, we finally see Law and Kid succeed to deal some major damage to Big Mom. They are both using their awakened devil fruit forms, which is really cool, and it's making me very curious to see if Luffy also gains some sort of awakening in his fight against Kaido. I mean, okay, personally it seems to have come out of nowhere, but I'm not complaining. If anything, this is just a stark reminder that One Piece is rapidly approaching its endgame. Also, Punk Crash is like the first time I've seen a kid attack and gone, this can do some real damage. Also, Law says that Kroom affects your body in other ways, which is getting me quite hyped. And I said this in the last chapter and I'll say it again. I have full faith in our two captains right now. With every passing chapter, I just cannot see this raid being some sort of TKO. The worst generation members are going to win on their own terms, and not as a result of some plot detail like, oh, Big Mom is fighting Kaido now, or something like that. No, this is where they take center stage, and being a One Piece fan right now is just incredible. And this is probably a good time to mention the name of this chapter, the impermanence of all things. This chapter to me is a representation of the flow of time. It's both a blast from the past, but also perhaps a look into the future, and I just can't wait to see what Oda pulls next. Just like you can't wait to see my next video. So make sure you're subscribed so you see all future Anime Analyzed content. And if you like this video, please drop a like, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch y'all later.